Every business has four stakeholders. They have the community, they have their team, they have their internal customer or their current customer, and they have their external customer, which is, of course, their future customer. Now, your role as the leader in the business is quite simply to plan to service those stakeholders, plan to have them at the center of your vision, and your role, start planning now. Good morning and welcome to JTinTheRaw, show 213, where I chew the thin on business, and after 31 years in business, I have just a few thins to chew with you. And this week, I worked out what a dumbass I was because I was trying to approach two things very separately: planning and not focusing on my stakeholders. Planning and not focusing on my stakeholders. And today's show is about combining both of those. Well, it's a beautiful day here in Sydney and we are heading into a very summery weekend. It's a long weekend here in New South Wales in Australia. So I'm heading away for a lovely weekend away with a couple of families. So looking forward to that. Thank you to everybody who asked the big question, did we win the grand final? And yes, we did. Yes, we won the grand final 35-13. So Zoe's netball team became a three-peat grand finalists winners. So that was really exciting last weekend, but this weekend is a weekend away. What are you doing this weekend? What are you up to this weekend? And I want to know in the comments below, whether you're watching live or on replay, in the comments below, just using an emoji, share what you're up to this weekend. With an emoji in the comments below, what are you up to this weekend? Okay, so here is my thought process of kind of what I've been going through this week when planning for a Zoom bombing call and planning with Rex Marketing Group. And it was this: most successful businesses pre-COVID were the businesses that had people at the center of their business. People who genuinely thought, genuinely believed, had a human element in their business. They are the ones that have come out of COVID super successful. I want you to be thinking right now, how do I put people at the center of my vision? Those people, your community, your team, as well as your customers. Now remember, there's two groups of customers. There's your current customer and there's your future customer. And what I'm seeing a lot is businesses are bouncing out of COVID and they are focusing a lot on the external customer. They've gone straight back into focusing on customer acquisition. They've forgotten about their current customer, they've forgotten about their community, and they've forgotten about their team. They did a great job with their team in lockdown. They did a great job in their team over the last 6 months. But the priority now has become acquisition because, of course, we are chasing money. We need cash flow. So here's what I want us to be thinking about now. October, November, December. You've got 90 days till the end of the year, 3 months. 90 days to the end of the year. Dwayne, good morning. How are you? Carol, good morning. How are you? Susie, good morning. So we've got 90 days to the end of the year. I want you to think about a plan for each of those stakeholders. I want you to think about a plan for the community, for your team, as well as your internal and your external customers. So it's no longer should, would, or could we put these people at the center of our plan. No, we must put them at the center of our plan. They are the key to creating cash flow in our business. Marissa, hello there, Marissa. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I'll catch up with you a little bit later this morning, I hope. Okay, so when we think about our community, people in our community, this gives us the opportunity to position ourselves as a community-minded business. You need to think about, what does your business actually do? If you're selling widgets, if you're a fitness business, if you're a real estate business, if you're a podiatry business, whatever it is, how can you give back to your community? What can you do to add value to your community for no other reason but just simply showing you care? Simply showing you care. Let me give you an example. There are fitness businesses all around the world that are still offering free community classes, whether that be in a park or whether that even be online. If you're in the community, we give you access to this. Now that's a great value add. It's a great positioning statement. Good morning, Rach, how are you? It's a great positioning to show that you care in your community. And what we do know from consumer trends is that the businesses that give back to their local community are loved by their local community. So plan over the next 90 days, what can you do to give back to your community? Of course, then we have our team. What can we do with our team? For many of our team members, they set goals at the beginning of the year, and those goals have either been torn up or thrown out the window or just put on the back burner so that we say something like, I'll do that in 2021. Well, your role as the leader of your team is to sit down with them and say, hey, we've got 90 days left of the year. 90 days left of the world that we now live in. Let's try and achieve some goals. Let me help you achieve some professional goals, some personal goals. I love the quote from Simon Sinek where he says, you cannot beat time with the boss with money. You cannot beat time with the boss with money. Sitting down with your team and just asking them, how can you help them? How can you care for them? What can you do with your team is a really powerful strategy to keeping them bonded. Now, what we did during lockdown across the entire globe is that we were keeping them engaged with our brand through Zoom or through calls. Well, let me think about this, have you think about this. I want you to reboot that caring. I want you to reboot that thought process with your team. And I want you to support them, I want you to grow them, and I want you to care for them. That's your role as a leader. When you do those three things, support, grow, and care, they will do the same for your customers. They will do the same for your business. That's your role. That's your responsibility as a leader. Support, grow, and care for your team. Now develop a plan to help them over the next 90 days. Okay, and then the final component of this, the final stakeholders are our customers. So we have two customers. We have our internal customer and our external customer. Now both of them are critical to our business and both of them require different plans. Not one is more important than the other, equally as important. But your responsibility as a leader is to keep your team focused on both of those customers, but your team need a plan. They need you to sit down and say, this is what we need to do. So, here's my thought process around plans. By the way, if you're just tuning in, the question of the day is, what are you up to on the weekend? Stick it in the comments using an emoji only. Just an emoji. What are you up to on the weekend? So here's my thought process. I think because the world has changed, I want you to focus just on 90 days. I want you to think October, November, December. October, November, December. October should almost be planned, but I would hazard a guess for many businesses it is not. So chunk it down into 4-week blocks, 3 lots of 4 weeks. I want you to think about what you can do. Now that might be physically do, that might be communicate, or that might be just think. It might be actually allocating time each week to think about the plan. That's up to you, but I need you to think about. I need you to be doing that. Why don't you plan a good place to start is planning around some special days. I didn't realise, but the 30th of September was Ask a Stupid Question Day. Who knew? So there's a website, and it's called daysoftheyear.com, daysoftheyear.com. And what that and if you forget that, just put days in the comments below and I'll send you the link to the website, days in the comments below. And what it does is that gives you all the special days of each month, each week, based off the date of the year. You can build some content around that. You can build some marketing around that. You can build some communications with your team and your community around that. You haven't got to come up with something new. You just follow what that is. It's brilliant. So my goal for you, my goal for you, my challenge to you as well, is that you will walk away with a plan for the next 90 days. Remember, your 4 stakeholders: your internal customer, your external customer, your community, and your team. All of them need some love, but that love has to be designed and planned for. Your job as a leader is to write that plan. Who's up for that challenge? Hit me up with a love heart right now if you're up for that challenge of putting a plan together to make your business successful. It will not just happen. It needs a plan. Is that a dancing person, Rachel, that you're up to on the weekend? Marissa looks like she's out on a boat. So your job is to plan. Now, if you got any value out of today's show, please hit the share button. Please hit the love heart button. Please share the show. Tag anybody in the comments below if you think they could get a takeaway idea from planning the next 90 days around those 4 stakeholders, showing that you care, showing that you are giving back to your community, to your team, and to your customers. This is a really important time that is in every business life cycle. Don't hide behind the COVID curtain. Get out in front and plan a strategy to move forward. That's what we want to be doing. Hey, you've been tuned into JTinTheRaw. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. It's going to be a cracking weekend here in Sydney. It's going to be hot. So we are off on a little family's holiday with a couple of other families. Looking forward to heading away and getting some time off. So I hope you also have a great weekend. I hope you have an awesome week ahead with just a little bit of planning for the months ahead. I'll catch you on the flip side.